So, what a year this has been for the Sacramento Historical Society. Tonight's event is a celebration of Sacramento history. By honoring Joan Didion's legacy as a nationally award-winning journalist and author, and as one of Sacramento's daughters, this evening is also a fundraiser for the endowment to honor the legacy of Joan Didion. And we thank you and our sponsors for your support in being here tonight.
Welcome to the Sacramento Historical Society June program.
My passion is in the area of peace and conflict resolution, and of course in working in communities of people of African diaspora.
In 1982, California elected officials celebrated completion of a 7-year project to fully restore the state capitol building. The $70 million restoration was considered the largest in the Western world.
Paul Hillman is one of the most extraordinary people I have ever met in my life.
Well, thank you, Greg. That was exactly the introduction that I wrote, so you followed that extremely well. All right, so today we're going to talk about floods, fires, levees, and railroads. What else do we want to talk about? You bet. So here we go.
If Theodore Judah had not been around to push the railroad, it probably would have been built by someone else. There would have been no Huntington Library and Art Museum in Southern California, no Crocker Art Museum in Sacramento. There would be no Leland Stanford Junior University and no Silicon Valley.
I'm going to tell a story tonight. This story of the Sacramento conspiracy trial was quite well known at the time, but I think it has been lost to Sacramento history.
Tonight we've got two writers from the college who are graduating right now and who submitted applications for the scholarships. So first I would like to introduce Delilah Hammonds. Delilah, you want to come on up? Delilah's graduating with an associate's degree in both English and interdisciplinary studies, parentheses, arts and humanities. She has career goals of working in journalism while also writing and publishing her own novels. Our next scholarship recipient is Emma Richmond. Emma is graduating and plans to transfer to UC Irvine. And they have a major there called literary journalism. She studied journalism at City College and has served as editor-in-chief of the college's online newspaper, The Express. So, congratulations, Emma. Sure. Thanks very much.
I knew that the students were going to be doing this, but I just had no idea what it would look like. And I'm just stunned by how great it looks.
We are renaming our Learning Resource Center at the college, which includes the library, for Joan Didion.
Well, I hope it means that students will make a connection to her as somebody who, just like them, started out here and was able to grow and to move forward and to live a life that had so much impact on the world.
Her roots are here, and she writes about Sacramento and she writes about the Central Valley and California in ways that make us kind of, assess how we respond to place and to this place in particular. It's sort of a wonderful collaboration. It's designed by a Sacramento City College student. We had a connection with the Railroad Museum and their folks who helped us out with this, and we had faculty work on it.
So I gave them some pictures. I gave them this is a giclée of a piece that was actually auctioned off that lived in Joan's apartment for almost 20 years. To see that on the wall was really exciting for me. We had become aware that the Historical Society had begun a connection with the college in the form of the scholarship. And we were really excited about that because we didn't know of any place else in the country that had decided to honor Joan after she died. And so we wanted to connect with them, and we connected with Greg Lukenbill, and that is when all of this came to pass. He was essential to the process.
Well, the first thing that hits me is Victoria Austin did a spectacular job on this thing. And I'm so excited about that. I really am. I think it's fantastic. The spirit of who Joan Didion is shows up in all of this.
You know, what's really special for me is I'm actually also a Sacramento native. I'm actually a 5th generation Sacramentan myself. And so I resonate so much for what Joan says about Sacramento. I love this quote because I think that growing up in Sacramento, I think most people who live in the Central Valley, grow up here, can really resonate to this quote about the landscape being something that is comforting to us.
I like her association with Sacramento City College. And I think that was an important thing for her. She got to work in the student newspaper and different publications here. And the college has grown to be a fantastic place, and I think she's part of our heritage here.
I love this one with her hands on her chin, because it's the image that I have seen for so many years. Joan Didion introduced me to Sacramento with her Run River. And she has written so many wonderful books, whether it was while she was in Los Angeles, whether she was in New York, but Sacramento was her home. And the Sacramento River, the Delta, was her home. And this is appropriate that we honor her.
The spirit of what this is all about, this building, the endowment, and everything we've done to grow this in the future for Sacramento City College, it's not for us. It's not for anybody except the future. This is for the future. It's for the students and the scholars that are going to be working with the perpetual endowment that's in this place, that's going to continue to grow.
Hopefully that opens up new generations of students who will know and connect to Joan. And some of them may never have even heard of her before they get here.
Just being able to see her life in pictures and seeing her whole kind of journey was something that was really inspiring, and being able to see her from when she was a Sac City College student up until she was a famous writer. Honestly, it's very surreal. I have had a lot of opportunities to learn about Joan in the last several months, and I realize I'm more similar to her than I could ever realize.
I just want to say, because of the way the check-in process was functioning in this event, which is a little different than our normal one, how many people here actually have ever served in the military? And if you don't mind, would you please stand up? Honestly, you guys don't have to stand up. It's obvious. Well, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I want to recognize you because, you know, you're the reason that we exist. And you are the reason that our lives are permitted to live the way they are every day. And so thank you for your service, genuinely, okay? I thank you for that, and I could tell, based on the number of non-members that we had show up, that there was a high probability of a lot of military people in that group. And so on that note, I'm honored to introduce Major General, California Adjutant General Matthew Beavers, who is a Northern California boy. Born in Salinas, educated in San Jose. Major General Matthew Beavers.
So thank you all for coming tonight. Appreciate it. A little bit about this building, the complex here. It's 238,000 square feet on 30 acres. It was completed, and we moved in about a year ago, maybe a little longer. And I got to tell you, there's somebody that had so much to do with getting the military department in this building, and we were having some unique challenges completing it during COVID and the subsequent extraordinary inflationary pressures that our builders had to get this work done. So Sally, appreciate that. She gets a lot of love, so thank you so much for that. But we're going to try our best here to kind of help you out, and we're going to do it in the context of history, right? Because so much of what occurred in our relationship with Ukraine has a historical context, and the events of history defined our relationship. And we began to train Ukrainian infantry battalions on how to fight essentially a hybrid war. Because at the same time, Russia's kind of agitated in the Donbass. Remember the Donbass, the Yanukovych, right? They've agitated in the Donbass and created all these challenges there. So we start that training. That continues to this day. We don't do it in Lviv anymore because on the second day of the war in 2022, that training base was destroyed by a series of Russian cruise missile strikes. Destroyed, flattened on the second day of the war. And at the end of the day, it will be viewed as the reason that Russia could not decapitate Kyiv in 2 days. But we knew that we could train Ukrainian pilots to defeat Russian MiGs without the advent of the elegant radars that we possess. By basic airmanship, tactics, techniques, and procedures, we knew how to defeat Russian aircraft. And we didn't have to give the Ukrainians our best stuff. We could simply train them how to do it, and they could win. And they did. And they do that today. Exercise Clear Skies, right? That's a California tail flying out of someplace in Ukraine. And I think that might even be President Zelensky next to one of our F-15s. We were doing an exercise with them. So we spent a lot of time training those pilots. So now it's 2020, and now we really focus on ensuring that Ukraine has the lethal defensive weapons it needs to defend itself in the advent of a Russian attack.